More listings are expiring right now than we've seen in over a decade. If your home didn't sell, you aren't alone, and it's not your fault. But leaving it as a market casualty isn't the answer. In this episode of the Porterhouse Perspective, we break down why the market is dropping listings, how to protect yours, and how our Porterhouse Reset strategy has already turned over 10 unsellable homes into closed deals this year. Hit play and let's fix your listing. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Porterhouse Perspective. I'm excited to be back on the podcast with my favorite people in the room.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
And today we get to add a brand new addition to the podcast. He's the newest team member of Porterhouse Property Group. Welcome, Sam Poland.
Woo!
Woo!
Yay.
Yeah,
we're happy to be here.
Super excited to have you, Sam. You're a great addition to the team, and we can't wait to see what you continue to do.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So here we are in the midst of the 2026 market, and it has been a roller coaster, up and down, all over the place. As we've talked about on other podcasts, we're still seeing that two market system right now, where it's one market, houses are moving, they're going quick. We're actually seeing multiple offers. And then there's the other market where it's sitting dead. They're not selling. They're expiring, and sellers are sad. And so that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. We're going to talk about that expired side of things, why that's happening on the market, and the opportunity that us as agents have right now to service these expired listings, especially top agents that know how to survive this market. And luckily, we are those agents. We've been able to be highly successful in this market. Knock on wood, we have not had a single expired listing or even a listing that went over the contract, that we had to extend the contract. So all of our listings have sold in that 90 days or sooner, which is a huge feather in our cap, and we should be proud of that. And I'm going to say it, and because I'm proud. We've been able to do that. We've really dialed down a system that works in this current market.
Yeah, 100%.
Preparation
Yep.
really is honestly what we've been saying is a lot of times it was price superseded presentation, and now they've kind of flipped. They've inverted. Now it's presentation over price a lot of times.
Definitely,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think also marketing too. I think just trying to get it in front of the right people, because buyers are fickle. Buyers are very adamant about what they want, what they don't want, as they should be. They're trying to make the right investment for themselves, for their future. So they're taking their time. And sometimes your buyer's not hyper local. Sometimes it's not just a drive-by sign and seeing what's for sale. It's reaching the right people.
Yep.
And I think that we've really honed that in, especially in the last year of getting our marketing dialed, our social media is dialed, and reaching the kind of platforms that we need to reach.
Yeah. And early on in the year, we were a little bit worried because we were going to listing appointments, and we've got a high close ratio. We go to a listing appointment, we're in front of clients, we normally sign the listing agreement. And early in the year, we were a little bit worried because we were losing quite a few listings. And it's because we were telling the sellers what they needed to hear.
Realistic conversations.
Yeah.
Not what they wanted to hear. And then we'd have agents come behind us and tell these clients, oh, you want $1 million for your house? Porterhouse only said it's worth $850. Oh, well, we'll list it for $1 million. And then they got the listing, which I understand with the seller. You're like, whoa,
Totally.
$150,000 difference. Let's go with these guys that are going to get us the dream amount that we want. Well, what happened is we're actually having a huge end of this year, or coming out into the summer, the end of this summer, because a lot of those listings are now calling us back again and saying, we made a mistake. We listed at a higher price. We got no showings over the last 3, 4, 6 months, and our house is still on the market, even though we've done price drop after price drop, and then doing more price drops, and it's not even creating any more urgency. It's not even creating any more buyer demand, because the market is so fatigued because it's been on the market for so long.
Yeah.
And another thing a lot of these agents are doing with these listings that they take at a higher price drop, they don't do anything to revamp the marketing. They'll even let the listing expire, take it off the market, and then just put it back on the market with the exact same
Same
marketing
photos, same description, same everything.
everything.
Nothing's changed.
And so that's when I look at these sellers and I say, if it didn't work the first time, why is it going to work the second time?
Yeah.
And so that's where Porterhouse came up with the Porterhouse Reset, which is a program that goes in, consults you on why your home didn't sell the first time, what we can do differently to get it sold this time, and then going about that aggressively and doing the right steps and the right things that need to be done and getting the house sold. And we've had tremendous success on that. Tremendous.
Absolutely. Because I think at that point, as a seller, you love your home. You see a lot of value in your home, as you should. You have curated your life around this home and you've put a lot of sweat equity into this home. So when you go to sell it and maybe you've had an agent tell you it's not worth what your dream of it being worth is, and that's why you went somewhere else. But now when you've had 6 months, and you've had maybe 1 or 2 showings, and you're feeling a little defeated, your skin is a little bit thicker and you're willing to have that tougher conversation of like, this is what we wish you could have heard 6 months ago, but you weren't in a place to hear that. And that is completely okay. It sets us back, but we have a system in place that we're going to beat that and we're going to figure it out and we're going to come out on the other side. But there's just tweaks that we need to make to how we're going to present your home again to a fresh market.
Yep.
And it's hard to hear that out of the gate.
Yeah.
You know, when it was 4, 5, 6 months ago when we were having these conversations, there was no proof, right, of that. And it was early in the game where the market started to kind of slow down a little bit, right? And buyers became more fickle. So now that this has happened and there's a sample set of 4 to 6 months of, hey, no showings or very little showings or very little feedback, all those things coupled together, it's go time now.
Yeah.
And
you
the
know?
sellers may not have even had that initial conversation with us.
Yep.
They may have just been given the best that they thought that they were being given.
Yep.
And it's maybe not the information that we would have presented to them.
Yeah.
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 Another struggle that we're seeing right now too is that, you know, we go to these listing appointments today and they say, hey, you know, I get on Zillow, I get on Redfin, I get on all these apps and my home says that it's worth somewhere between $750 and $825. That might not be the case because they're going off of generic data, as we already know. And it's being sample set from months ago.
Yeah.
And the immediate market today, that's why it's so important to work with a real estate professional, because they're seeing in real time. We don't just work with sellers, we work also with buyers. We're hearing in real time what buyer sentiment is, what they're willing to go after in the market. Zillow and Redfin don't give you that. So they might say it's worth between $750 and $825, but really we should be putting it on the market for $725.
Well, and Zillow's never walked through your house.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pulling a sample set of numbers. They don't know what it looks like. They don't know the work that's been done.
Yep.
There's a whole host of things that Zillow's never going to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're always going to want to trust that professional over a random online evaluation.
Yep.
Another thing that we're seeing, you know, currently in this market with the expired listings is that marketing is beyond important now. Again, you know, the 2020 market to 2022, you could put anything on the market any old way. You could snap some photos with your iPhone and, you know, the home would sell. That's just not how it is anymore. And even back in like the 08 time,
Yeah.
you know, marketing was not as important because the online presence of selling homes was not as important as it is today.
I mean, you still would look through the newspaper.
Right.
And see
Yeah.
what homes got listed back in that time.
Yep.
We bought our house in 05, and that's how you found what was hitting the market. There was no Instagram or Facebook listings or anything like that. It just was a different world.
Yeah. And so that digital presence is absolutely huge. And so having professional photos, having professional videography, drone work, all of that is absolutely critical. Baseline.
100%.
Baseline.
That's
Yeah.
baseline.
Yep.
Like that's not a bonus. That's not because you're a luxury home where it used to kind of be.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
if you were a luxury home, a very unique home, a high dollar home, you got that kind of package. But that is baseline now. That is what every home
100%.
needs because buyers are finding these homes digitally. And the way that we get you buyers through the front door is through a beautiful presentation of marketing.
I want them to be in love with the house before they walk through the door because of the marketing.
Yeah.
I want them to see our social media and I want them to be like, I need to be in this house. I need to look at this house because that's the only reason you're showing up.
Yeah.
Because other than that, you're inundated constantly on Zillow and Redfin with these pings that they're getting of, you know, price drops or a new listing hit the market because you have your settings accommodating what you want and your phone is constantly being pinged. But I want our video to sell you on that house. I want it to give you a feeling of this could be my home. And then when you get there, that's all. I just want you in the door.
Yeah.
I just want you in the door.
Yeah, I mean, before you spend money on anything, whether it be a handbag or a car or what have you, a watch, you need to be drawn in by some sort of media.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not just going to jump in the car and be like, I'm going to go to Bell Square today and I'm going to go buy that handbag that I haven't really even seen yet, right?
Yep.
Or just a quick little crappy snapshot of it.
Yeah.
If it's been marketed correctly, and this is the biggest investment that people will make, why wouldn't you do the same with your presentation of your home?
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of weeding out of average or subpar agents versus the agents that are standing out just based on marketing alone.
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
prep and your presentation, it goes a long, long, long way.
Absolutely.
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 And that is key, absolutely key in this market. Like I said, baseline. If you take anything from this podcast, it's make sure your agent is absolutely doing professional marketing for your listing.
And ask if you're not interviewing us, or you are and you're interviewing other people as well, ask them our marketing plan.
Yep.
Because
See proof of it.
I mean, there's people who are like, my what?
Yeah.
Where's your Facebook? Where's your
Yeah.
Instagram? I want to see them. I
Yep.
want to I want, like, show me previous listings that you've had success with. How did you market those properly? And I think that that's something also that sellers are still learning. Ask your agents questions.
Yeah.
Don't just hire the person that someone referred to you. Don't just hire someone who's a friend of a friend, because you don't know what their system is like, and their system may not match your real estate. It may
Right.
not match what you need. It may not match your community. It may not match your zip code. Like, every area is a little bit different. Every area is a little bit niche on, well, things are moving a little bit more quickly over here, but 5 minutes down the road, things are just stagnant.
Yeah.
And what is the difference there? Why is that different? So I think really interviewing your agent and figuring out who is the best match for you and why.
And
Why
if
is
you
that
don't
important?
ask the questions up front, you don't know until it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't know until you're already in it, until you realize the marketing is subpar, until you realize you're not getting the traffic that you should be getting on the home. You realize that the home is overpriced
Yeah.
until it's too late.
Yep.
And so asking those questions up front is so important. And like Eric said, and we'll say this a million times, this is most people's largest asset. And if it's not your largest asset, it's one of your largest assets and
Right.
investments. You should be protecting this with your life and making sure that who is representing you is going to absolutely maximize every single dollar for you and get the best return possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we've seen that over the last, I'd probably say 6 to 8 months, those meetings we've had with sellers and us having the tough conversation of, okay, this is what your home should be valued at. This is our plan. And then them having someone else come in and have a prettier conversation of, well, I could sell your house for more. This will be easy. And then we see it hit the market and we're like, oh no, like I wish they had highlighted this, or I wish they had done this a little different. Like, we just look at it all through that lens, and we really, we just take pride in the fact that we want to show off your home.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
really, really do. Like, deeply, truly, we want to show off your home and what's so amazing and special about it and why you loved it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And why the next person will love it.
We always
you know?
say that, 80% of this business is psychology. The other 20% is paperwork and getting that part right. But it truly is. You have to invest, like, what is going to draw the buyer to this particular home? That is the number one question. That's our why. That's what we go to in every listing appointment, is we know for certain what's probably going to be drawn, who's going to be drawn to this house,
Yeah.
and dial the marketing around that.
Yeah. And 6 months ago, when we started out this year and we were losing listing appointments and we were getting worried, we sat down and we had a conversation as a team. Like, do we start telling people what they want to hear so we get the listing and then we'll just drop the price? And we all decided, no, that is not how Porterhouse operates.
It's just never been.
It's
like,
never
No.
been. And that's not how we're going to get business. And we're going to be honest, and we're going to tell you, again, what you need to hear to get to the goal that you want to get to, which is to sell your home for top dollar. And to overprice it or to price it based on dreams and aspirations does not get you the best return. And so us telling you the truth and losing the listing, I'd rather be in that position than than being the person that's now have to go back and say, actually, it's not worth as much as I told you it's worth. We need to do a price reduction, and then we need to do another one, and then another one. I'd rather be that person that came from the jump and told you what it was like. And we lost out a lot of those because we saw the market. We knew where this market was headed
real time.
in real time. We are constantly out at seminars, economic summits, talking to other top agents. We've got an awesome brokerage with over 200 agents that get together weekly, and we talk about what's happening in the Pacific Northwest in regards to real estate, from agents from all the way up north to all the way down south. And so we've got a huge grasp on what's happening, and we knew what was coming. And a lot of these agents didn't, and a lot of the consumers didn't. And so we were pricing forward of what this market's going to look like.
And your biggest educator is going to be your buyers.
Yeah.
What are you hearing from your buyers? The minute they walk through a door and you know that you have a listing coming up that's very similar to this listing that you're showing them, that's education in real time. They will not hold back you as their selling agent. They're going to be like, this place stinks. This place is too small. The ceilings are too low. I don't like the location, whatever the case may be. Or I love it because it has a barbecue area, or it's got special trim throughout the house that one didn't have. So we're taking note of all those things. That is the biggest educator in real estate, is working with a sample set of buyers in your region as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we consistently, when we had that meeting, because we had that meeting of, do we just price it at what the sellers want? Like, we're losing business. Are we gonna, what do? We need to keep the lights on. And in that time, and even more so now, we are hearing from buyers, it's overpriced. Yep. They do not want to spend a penny more than they have to. And I completely understand that, but that's what we were hearing constantly. Yep. It could have been the best house for them. It could have been everything they asked for. But they're like, am I paying too much? Do you think it's overpriced? Yeah. That is their biggest concern. Their true biggest concern.
And this current buyer segment that we're dealing with right now will not even come to look at the house.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
If they immediately smell that it's overpriced, they won't even come, because guess what? They know that they're going to watch it reduce and reduce and reduce. And in this current market, our price reduction is absolute blood in the water. And buyers are waiting for that.
Well, and a savvy buyer is going to look at homes that are near it. Like, if you, for instance, have a neighborhood home and they see a similar home listed at a much higher price and the one next door isn't, they're going to start feeling it out. Like, oh, that one's going to reduce. I know that they're going to have to reduce it, and I'll just wait it out.
Because they have all this at their fingertips. They're on Redfin every night, or Zillow or whatever. They know if a house is overpriced by $5,000. They know. And I mean, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and so what do we do? What does Porterhouse do for an expired listing? Now, I'm going to caveat this by saying we would rather start with you from the beginning.
Please.
Because it is far more difficult for us as your rescue agents to come in and fix the problem. It's a lot easier for us to start from the jump, doing the job correctly and getting it done correctly from the beginning. Now, that doesn't always happen that way. And so when we have clients that are coming to us after their house has sat on the market for 90 plus days and with zero activity, zero offers, the first thing we start out with is we have them come into the office and we do a consult. We go through their current listing and we talk about the holes. Where is the marketing missing? Where are we missing some opportunities of getting in front of a certain segment of buyers? How was the online presence? What was the social media like? So we do a full audit of what your current listing is, and also where it did a good job.
Yeah,
and there are plenty of expireds that have come to us, and their agent has actually done a decent job. It's been priced correctly, but the client wasn't willing to do the things that needed to be done to get it sold. And so they didn't move forward. We didn't move forward with them. And because there are certain things that have to be done to get a successful relaunch of a listing. And so that's the initial consultation is we come in and we sit down. First, we make sure you're the right fit for us, and you make sure we're the right fit for you. We consult on what we can do to change your listing and to get a better outcome. And then we break down a full custom game plan just for you.
And you know how we know that it's not always about price point? Because there's some that we have reset that they actually reduced it lower than what when we refreshed it, what our starting price was and what we ended up garnering for that client.
Yep.
It's a lot of it is prep.
Yeah.
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 It's-
Prep is huge.
Prep is huge.
It's
Prep,
huge.
prep, price, and then your presentation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. It's all of those three things need to hit, and a lot of times on the expireds, two of those things are not hitting.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you can fix those two things, relaunch it properly, and you can successfully sell.
Absolutely.
And sometimes even if one of those things is off, the house
Yeah.
isn't going to sell. This market is not taking any prisoners. I mean,
No.
it is absolutely, you have to be dialed, you have to be on point to get your home
And
sold
you
in this
have
market.
to be willing as a client to jump in. I mean, you have to be ready because that's like Tony said earlier, a lot of the ones that we don't end up taking on was because they just weren't team players with their current agent, and that
You
will come
can't,
out in the wash.
at that point, you can't have your heels dug in.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
I understand just as a human, like, it's exhausting to have a listing on for that long. And say you're living in the home and you've been going in and out, having showings, maybe not having showings, however it is that you feel fatigued from it. But if you're willing to get back on the market, you also have to be willing to do the things that
you
are going
might
to
have
get
been
the home
uncomfortable
sold.
with.
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And the hard part is we're hearing time and time again. It was a year ago that my neighbor's house sold for this much.
Yeah.
The market has changed so much just in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
My
Yep.
gosh,
That
yeah.
you cannot be comparing. Yeah, you can use it as a comparable within your neighborhood, but the market has vastly changed just week by week.
And
Without
we
a
don't even
doubt.
pull numbers less. I mean, even 6 months is iffy.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
don't use those
We don't use
numbers.
comps,
We very much use what is happening right now.
Yeah, and using a lot of what we're using right now is the pendings. You know, what is pending? How long did it take to get pending? You know, are you pending under ask? Are you giving seller concessions? You know, what happened after inspection?
Yeah.
All of those things are the real-time data that your agent needs to be pulling to properly price your home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to our fellow agents, please let's work together and share what we're pending at.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
For the love.
I mean, we're all in this together, and I think that now real-time data is more important than ever before.
Absolutely.
And if we're not sharing that we're always open to sharing what
Very.
we're pending at immediately with an agent. If they call and they say, hey, I've got another one coming up in your neighborhood. I see that you just went pending. What are you pending at?
Well, it helps everybody across the board. It helps
Yeah.
the buyers, the sellers, the
Yeah.
agents. Like, if
Yep.
we have real-time numbers and data and what's actually happening, it's a win for everyone at the end of
Right.
the day.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, so after that consult, if you decide to move forward with us again, like we build out a custom game plan for the relaunch of your listing, and every single one, you guys, we've been able to do this year. Many of them have been comeback agents, and then many of them have been referrals,
Yeah.
or they've seen what we've done with other clients and they've reached out on their own. They have all sold. And like Eric said, most of them have actually sold for higher than what they originally dropped the price down to. And so again, there is a strategy in all of this. There is a requirement in this market for your house to be properly prepared, priced, and staged. And if it will be successful if you do it.
And we're here to do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We will do whatever it takes to get it to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we've been doing with the expireds. If you have an expired or you have a house that's been sitting on the market, you're not quite sure why, we're happy to sit down, chat with you about what we could do to help you, or maybe what you could do currently with what you're
Yeah.
doing right now to move the listing. Because like I said, there are strategies behind all of this, and there are things that will get your house to move, and there's reasons why it's not moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Because things are selling in this
Yeah,
market.
they are.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to be clear too, is that so many times we have clients call us and say, hey, is this a good time to sell? You know, I don't know if this is a good time to sell. Absolutely. It's still a great time to sell, but you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You have to.
And we have to snap out of that mindset that we list on a Thursday, have an offer review on Monday, and then it's
We're
under contract. I mean, we just had a listing in Buckley, super dialed listing,
Yeah.
great, had a ton of showings on it. It sat for 3 weeks. We just got a full price offer on it.
Yeah.
20% down. Great offer.
Great offer.
So buyer sentiment is just a little bit slower.
Yep.
Another thing with these buyers, they didn't get pre-approved until they found the right house.
Yeah.
I don't blame them because your
No.
pre-approval does expire within a certain amount of time. So it's just a little bit more of a longer game.
Yeah.
absolutely.
But 3 weeks is not bad.
Not
No,
bad at all.
no,
and,
not bad.
and we are calling, almost every agent that shows the property. Like, hey, can you give us feedback? What are you thinking?
Yep.
And I'd say 9 out of 10 say, I'm just starting with this buyer, or the buyer's not pre-approved yet. We're actually, this house, they liked it enough to actually start going to get pre-approved.
Yeah.
So like Eric said, buyers just aren't as prepared in this market. They're not coming prepared because they don't have to
I
be.
was going to say, they don't have to be.
There's no urgency.
There's no
And
urgency.
there doesn't have to be like there used to be.
And we're seeing 2 or 3 showings over a week or 2 period with the same buyers. So they're coming back again. They're bringing in a family member. Maybe
Yeah.
they're bringing a contractor
Yeah.
to get some quotes for the things that they'd want to do. They're doing these things. They're showing interest in the property, but they're not just jumping on it like we've been used to in the years past.
Now, granted, if that same house would have been sitting and we had no showings or just a few showings from 3 weeks ago until today, that's a pricing problem.
100%.
Yep.
Or a preparation problem, one of the
Yeah.
two. But if you're seeing steady showings and you're just not getting an offer yet, hang tight.
Yeah.
It will come. And
Yeah.
it will happen.
That's a really good point, Eric. Is the traffic right now, the buyer traffic is a great gauge on where you're at. If buyers are coming through the door, the marketing is correct. If you are getting good traffic through an open house, your marketing and your pricing is correct.
Yep,
If
'cause
you're
the
not,
price isn't scaring them.
if you're not getting offers after 30 or more days, pricing may need to be adjusted.
For sure.
Just based on the market. Maybe not when your agent, comped it out. That price might have been correct. But like Sam said, this market's changing on the daily.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're in a war. We're not in a war. The strait's open. It's closed.
Yeah.
Jobs are up. Jobs are down. Like all of these things are happening every single day, and they're impacting the market. And so staying ahead of that is really important. But also understanding that what you started at may change in 30, 60 days.
Yeah.
And so having that patience is going to be huge. But using those different gauges along the way are really, really important.
Yeah,
As
like
an
you said.
agent, so go ahead.
Oh, like you said earlier, Tony, like your agent needs to be in the market and watching the market and on a daily basis of what's going on, because the market is the indicator right now. It's
Yeah.
not Zillow. It's not what you're reading online necessarily. It's the daily market and what the market is headed towards or retracting from
Yep.
is changing on a daily basis.
In real time. Yeah.
So that's one of those questions that you should be asking your agent when you're interviewing them is, how many deals have you closed in the last 6 months? Because I love to hear these agents come in and say, oh, I've been doing this for 30 years, but actually I've only sold 3 homes in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been doing it a long time, but you're a little bit dated when it comes to what is currently happening in the market today.
And
So an agent
what
can
areas?
show you that number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And what areas have you been selling in? They might
Yeah.
have sold 30 homes within the last 3 years, but they were in a completely different market.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of specific questions I think sellers really need to be focused in on right now, and it's pretty much honing in on your specific market, where your home sits, and how many homes that agent has sold in that area, and how often they've sold in that
And
area.
as a seller, I don't want to say ask for proof because that sounds kind of intense, but ask them to show you. I want to see your marketing. I want to see what you do, because taking an agent's word for it, their definition of professional photos is going to be a lot different than yours. It's
Yep.
a lot different than mine, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
And I
Their
think-
version of social media
Yeah.
is a lot different than yours.
Yep.
I think asking.
And
just
we'll happily show. I
Oh,
was at a
100%.
listing appointment yesterday morning, and the first thing I did when they asked about our marketing, I'm happily pulling up our marketing and showing, because it is that strong and it pulls people in, and they were impressed from that minute.
Right.
Because it just shows the intentionality behind what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we created the Seller Questionnaire that we can give to you guys. That if you're interviewing agents, we are happy to give you this PDF, and it's a full 10 questions on what you should be asking every single agent. So if that's something you're interested in, comment below and we'll send you guys a copy.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
great.
huge.
It's
It is
great.
great.
Yeah.
It's great.
and it'll keep you on track. And we're happy to answer every single question
We
on there.
love
Yep.
it. We like our answers too.
Yep, exactly. But it's something that will help guide you. You don't have to use every single question on there, but it helps guide you on what are the important questions to be asking your agent.
How to lead that conversation. I
Yep.
think as a seller, you need to walk into those meetings knowing that you're the lead.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
agent is not leading this conversation. You are, and you need to be prepared. Be prepared for that. Ask pointed questions. Ask very direct questions.
Yep.
That it's our job as real estate agents to answer those questions.
Well, and you'll get a strong sense of where an agent is in their current business.
Yep.
On how they take those questions, if they get defensive, if they act like what you're asking isn't relevant, like.
Remember, these people are negotiating for you too,
Yeah.
so you'll see
Yeah.
their true colors in
Yeah.
real time with how
That's
they
a good
they
point.
behave throughout the entire transaction. And yeah, I think also that questionnaire is very important because a lot of times you can meet with a different agent or a group of agents, and they'll lead you down a different conversation to where you're not asking the same questions. So if you're staying on track with the same questions, it's easier to compare apples to apples than it is like, oh, I didn't ask this agent that because the conversation didn't go there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an outline, an agenda
Yeah.
for your agent interviews, and I think it's huge. So definitely comment below if that's something that would be helpful for you, and we'll send that over to you immediately.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, guys, do you have any other kind of closing comments you want to wrap this conversation up around expired listings, this current market, how to not have your listing expire? Best way to do that is by calling Porterhouse from
Call
the
Porterhouse
get-go.
first, please.
But, sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
So,
I think pay attention to price. I think if you have a price in mind, maybe then sit back and think, is this an emotional price point?
Yeah.
Is this a Zillow-driven price point, an emotional price point, or is this really based on stats? And then also, I will always just say it, but market your home the way it deserves to be
Yep.
marketed.
Yep.
Just be intentional about that. Make sure that whoever is marketing your home does it with all the love in their heart and all the intentionality behind what it deserves, because it makes a huge difference.
Yep.
Huge difference in how buyers are absorbing your listing and your home for the first time.
Absolutely. And getting that top dollar.
Absolutely.
Because things are selling,
They are.
Absolutely.
and it's very much people are kind of getting a skewed idea of the market right now.
Yep.
Whereas things are selling. There's a lot that is sitting, and that's where we want to come in and save the day for you. But things are going off the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and be careful what headlines you consume.
Absolutely.
Everything is put out for our consumption as either rage bait or fear,
Yeah, for
or look at the market set that it's giving you. We are in a different market than a lot of these headlines are even giving you.
Yep.
So don't take a headline and go, well, nothing's selling, I'm not going to sell my property at all.
Yep.
That's just not the case.
Yep.
And if you sit down with us, we can show you why that's not the case and why things that we're listing are going obviously not as quickly as it was a year ago,
Yep.
but we're still doing our due diligence and making it happen. So
And everything's selling.
Everything's
Yep.
selling.
And there are a large amount of buyers out there looking right now. The open houses are busy.
busy.
Yeah.
The
Really
Buckley house
busy.
we were talking about, Sam and I did. How many couples did you say or families came through?
I would say probably 25. I
Yeah.
mean, nonstop
Crazy.
the whole day.
Positive feedback. I mean, there was some layout challenges with certain people, but the overall was very positive feedback.
The buyers are out there. You just have to capture their emotion. They have to really feel moved to move.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing it with the property preparation, if you're doing it with the marketing, the homes are selling.
Yeah.
But it's got to have all of the boxes checked.
Absolutely.
Can't have any shortfalls.
No shortfalls in this
No.
market.
No.
And if you call Porterhouse, there will be no shortfalls,
There
and
will
all
be
the
no
boxes will be
shortfalls.
checked. We promise.
Yes, yes. Well,
You have a lot of
guys
eyes. Check
for-
the boxes.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope you guys got some good information out of this. We are always just a quick email, comment, or phone call away. Give us a holler if you have any questions or if you'd like to set up a consultation and get your expired listing sold.
And remember, with Porterhouse, you always get a team.
Full team.
Full
Full
team
team.
all the
Yep.
time.
Yep.
All right, guys. See you soon.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.